Hello, BroDude. This is Brody, aka BroDude, and welcome back to another episode of BroDude Official. And I know all you guys probably heard of some, viral outbreak. You might have heard of it. You probably had to stay inside. So really, my aim for this video is just to entertain you all during these tough times. But I'm not looking to waste any time here, even though I'm sure you got a lot of it. So let's just get into the review here quickly. But before we do that, let's look at the current rankings from the last two videos. And if you haven't seen those, go check them out, because they give some context to this series. So as you can see, in fourth place we have Snow White, then we got Pinocchio, then we do have Moana, and then Wreck-It Ralph. So today we'll be looking at Hercules and Melody Time. Where will they rank? Let's find out. Let's get into Hercules. So I'll start with the plot summary for this one. Hercules, born as a god, gets captured by Hades and gets his immortality taken away from him, but keeps his super strength. When he's 18, his adopted parents tell him about this, and he goes on a journey to meet back with the gods. He gets trained by Phil and meets his magical horse Pegasus. He then meets with his love interest Meg, who tries to deny it but is in love with him. Hades has a plan to take over Zeus's role as the main god, but gets defeated by Hercules. Hercules can now live immortally with the gods, but he instead chooses to live on life on Earth with Meg. Now let's just get into a few of my notes with this movie. So the first part of this movie is the song with the little ladies on the pot. I don't really know what they're called, but it was a good introduction, and it's pretty nice. And then we get introduced to all the characters, a few of the characters, and Pegasus, very cute, as well as baby Hercules. Then there's Zeus, who's pretty dumb, and I will say this now, as you can see, my worst character is Zeus, but that does not mean that I don't like Zeus. I still think he's a decent character. I actually think all the characters in this are pretty good. He's pretty funny, but he doesn't have as much character than the other characters. So then we meet some of the two little monster guys, and they're really funny. Hades is an absolutely great villain. He's super funny, but he's also just a perfect villain. And I like how they make Hercules flawed, because he has this super strength, and I like how they made him flawed by having him, be very clumsy, and that was smart of them. So his adopted parents are pretty likable as well. They're pretty good for what they are. Then we get to Go the Distance, which is a great song. Then we meet Phil, who is an absolutely great character. Almost made the best character. Also, Hades almost made the best character, but I did end up going with Meg, who we will get to later. Phil sings One Last Hope, which is a really good one. It's a good transition as well. We meet Meg, who is also great. The joke that is someone call IXII, which is 911 in Roman numerals, that is fantastic. And I noticed at this time in this movie that it has a few really, really solid shots. So, there's a few really good shots sprinkled throughout the movie that are just completely solid. And, there's also a lot of really good colors in this. It's just really good animation. We get Zero to Hero, which is a really good song. There's a Scar cameo, with the little mask that was Scar. It's a good cameo. The Won't Say I'm in Love song is really good. And the whole climax is really good because, the whole him having to fight off all the giant monsters and then going in to save Meg, risking his life, but then he becomes immortal. That was all really good. As you can hear, my cat is here. So that's pretty neat. But anyways, so the ending is just fantastic. As I can see, that's my highlight, because it really feels like everything here was building up to a lot of stuff that happened here. All Phil wanted was somebody to say that that's Phil's boy, and that's what happened. And Meg and Hercules kiss. It was all fantastic. So the ending was really good, and so I put Meg as the best character because she's just very neat. I just really like Meg. There's also Hades, which was a great character. Hercules was pretty good too. Phil was great. There's a lot of really good characters in this one, but I did end up going with Meg. But yeah, that's pretty much my Hercules review. An all-around really, really good movie. And as you can see in the rankings, that shows as Hercules has now gained the #1 spot. Yeah, guys, this was pretty much a no-brainer for me. Although it was kind of difficult to choose between Hercules and Wreck-It Ralph, but I did end up going with Hercules. It was somewhat tough, but other than that, it was pretty much a given that Hercules would go this high. I think it's going to stay up there for the majority of this ranking. Hercules was just an absolutely fantastic movie. I have quite a bit of nostalgia for it as well. It's just an all-around great movie. But let's move on to our next movie, which is Melody Time. So let's just get to the plot summary, which there isn't much. It's just a collection of very short stories spanning from 5 to 15 minutes, taking place to various melodies. So yeah, I'm just going to go through some of these stories one by one, and I'll just tell you how I feel about them. So the first one just features a couple. There's no dialogue, and it's pretty cute and creative. Yeah, the first one is pretty decent. And I really like the transitions in this one too, with the whole painting and stuff. It's pretty cool. They have some good transitions. So then there's the one with the bug trying to escape sort of a nightmare, and that one's pretty decent too. It wasn't bad. It was pretty alright. And then we get to the Johnny Appleseed one, which is actually quite charming, and I actually enjoyed this one a decent bit. It is the longest one. First one's only spanned maybe about 5 minutes. This one was about 15 maybe. And I put him as my best character and the highlight, the Johnny Appleseed story. It's the best thing in the movie, but it's also not fantastic. It's just pretty alright. There's some charming bits in it. It's pretty good, but it's not amazing. So then we get to the Little Toot story, which is mostly just depressing throughout the whole thing. And you can see Big Toot was the worst character, because when Little Toot does one thing wrong, he's like, "Oh, you suck." But then he does one thing right. It's like, "That's my boy." That one's kind of bad. I'm not gonna lie, but it's not awful. It's just okay. Then there's the tree one, which I barely remember. They just showed off some trees. That one was stupid. That one was the worst one. Then there was the one with Donald Duck, which kind of caught me off guard. And it has some live action in it as well. And this one was very odd. It's like a fever dream, very psychedelic. It was very interesting, very weird. I don't know how to feel about that one. It was alright. And then there's the one with the Texas guy and girl, which was just okay, and it had some that live action intro and outro, and it was alright, it wasn't bad. I thought it was just okay. So yeah, as you can see, I pretty much already summed up the highlight, best character, and worst character. Although I guess I didn't go into depth much with Johnny Appleseed as a character. He's just a nice guy, basically, throughout the whole movie, and then he, as an old man, he gets his life taken away, and he's like, "I can't go yet," because, he's very religious, he's gonna go to heaven, he's like, "Can't go yet," and they're like, "Well, there's some apples need to be planted in heaven." He's like, "Ho ho, I can plant some apples." So, yeah, that was actually a pretty decent story. But that being said, that is a Melody Time, and as you can see, this is a very bland bit of a layout here, and that is pretty much just because of the fact that it really doesn't have a theme, and I just wanted to use the music notes because the whole thing is about the music, and I didn't want to use anything else that wouldn't sum up all of it. It would just only sum up like one or two stories in it, so I just went with this. And considering that some of it was pretty bland, I put it in just like the basic font and all of that. So yeah, that is Melody Time for you. And with that being said, let's get to actually, before we get to the rankings, I just want to mention the music in this because it's like sort of the main thing, but it's really just in the background, and it's fine. It's acceptable, but honestly probably the worst music out of all the Disney movies so far, if I'm being quite honest. Because it's not like there's like songs sung by characters, it was more like, it's more just like stuff in the background, melodies. But yeah, that was Melody Time, and let's actually get to the rankings here. And as you can see, Melody Time ranks at the bottom, and I will say this: I haven't seen a bad movie yet throughout all these. I haven't seen a bad movie. This, I would say, a 5 out of 10. It's right down the middle. There's some good stuff, there's some bad stuff. A lot of it is just meh. It's 5 out of 10 for me. I haven't seen a bad movie yet. With that being said, this wasn't really a joy to watch. Even Snow White, which was my lowest before, it was still pretty fun to watch. Even though it's not amazing and it's a bit outdated, call it a solid at least 6 out of 10. It's pretty okay. But this one was very just down the middle. So it is the bottom, and as you can see, we have a new number 1 and a new bottom ranking. And join me next time as I review 2 new Disney movies. And as you can see, guys, I don't know if you've been noticing a pattern. I've been trying to upload every month so far. So I'm looking to keep that trend up. And as you can see, I was very close to not getting it out this month, but I was able to. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Join me next time as we review 2 new Disney movies. And as you can see, I've been trying to upload every month, and I just barely got it this month. But yeah, I'm going to try and do that every month, and now that we're in quarantine, looks like I very much will be able to do that. Yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Come back next time for 2 new Disney movie reviews, most likely will be the next video. If not, that will be coming up anyways, relatively soon. Yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you did, leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. BroDude out.